Ladies and gentlemen, this is Manifusion here with a Minecraft Let's Play. Now, before we really get started, I want to have a, heart-to-heart moment with you. Let's have a real talk. So, yeah, feel free to sit down. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute. Anyways, there's a lot of things I'd like to consider myself good at, but let's be honest, Let's Playing, not exactly one of them. The reason for that, I have a lot of social anxiety. Find it really hard to talk to people, even when it's like this, online, When it's just friends, it's not thinking about it, it's fine. But after this, it gets really self-conscious, and it's kind of hard to do. I have a lot of respect for people who do this professionally. For example, the Minecraft team. It's very hard to actually do this and to do it right, and so I give a lot of props to them for being able to do so time after time, and still being enjoyable to watch. So, let's get started, shall we? Back in first person mode. Let's turn our HUD back on. So yeah, this is the base I've been working on my private server that I have a few friends playing with me. Right now there's no one else on. There's a death counter up next to my name, as you can see. So far I've died 8 times, mostly from falling damage. One time I accidentally threw my sword at a zombie in panic while caving, and he ripped me to shreds. Horrible ribbons everywhere. It's very terrible. Anyways, I consider myself more of a builder than survivalist, since for a long time I've been doing mostly stuff in creative. And I thought I'd just, take this episode as a little pilot, show you guys around, let you see what's what. So this is actually where I built into my mountain. We're here on an amplified world. Let's see, we are in the middle of a forest hills, which happens to be full of sheep for some reason, as you can see, like right there. I had a bunch of sheep up top that I was breeding, and then they broke out of their leads, and it just magically wandered to the edge of the cliff, just out of reach where they couldn't get back up. So now I just hear nothing but sheep baaing at the top of my mountain from now on, whenever I go up there. I've got this nice little waterfall that goes from a pond up there, down over here. I do hope to extend it around the mountain until it spirals down to the base eventually. But that's going to take a long time. This is a huge project that I'm trying to undertake. This is actually where I first built into the base. At first I was thinking of doing something more modern, but let's face it, I love building with stone and wood just because the variety of materials and different types of slabs and stairs and stuff you could build with. You have little chairs set up. I'll admit that when I was first building this, I was using a texture pack. But I figured for continuity's sake, so I didn't have to worry about updating every time they have, little blocks added or something, that I just go into default. And here's my nice little fireplace that doesn't set anything on fire, luckily. Although it does scare me whenever I'm downstairs in the storage area, because I'll hear the fire noise and just flip out like, oh my god, is my base on fire? Because as you can see, this entire base would melt. In fact, thunderstorms still scare me, because it's completely wood up the shaft there. Anyways, I've got this main lobby that's 2 stories. Here's the roof. There's the river I was talking about that goes on top of it. Leads straight down. Let's go down the stairs real quick. I have this shaft going all the way up here down to sea level so that I can finally get in this mountain base without having to climb up a waterfall every time. Which is one of the reasons I died. Getting sniped from there, very painful. Anyways, I have these little things built on the wall, like little monuments that, just kind of repeat throughout the room. Try and spruce up the pace a bit. My goal for this base was to build it so that none of the walls were just a flat material, but that it actually felt like it had depth, and that it was something 3-dimensional. Which, while building in cubes, is both really hard and really easy at the same time. Because you have to conserve space between rooms, otherwise you just start getting everything looking really bloated. And when you're working with a lot of space like this, it's really easy to accidentally overlap. I have this map that I had named for Sheep Mountain, based on the amounts of incessive sheep that keep going throughout my base. I did have a red sheep that was just going back and forth around here, but one of our friends happened to accidentally let him out, and he just wandered off the cliff somewhere. Let's see. There are a few biomes that we've yet to see that are really important, such as deserts and jungles. because so far we don't have any cacti or jungle wood, so we're missing out on a lot of materials. We also haven't seen savannas, so I'm still limited on the different kinds of woods I can build with, which is a shame because I really want to try out some of the new stuff. I have a little chest up here. This used to be for wood when I was farming spruce, but now the rest of them are just pretty much filled with cobble from hollowing out this mountain. Which, by the way, because this is amplified and this is all above sea level, I've gotten very little coal from actually up this far, so most of this is from, cobblestone. Lots and lots of stone. Anyways, I have a little private stable built up here. I'm pretty much considering this a part of the base, the penthouse, since it started out as the main base. I have a room in there, but it's not exactly, fancy yet. It's just a couple of beds. I do have this little horse, though. Haven't named him yet, but I really like how he looks with the whole two-color look. He actually has pretty nice stats, good hearts, he can actually jump quite well, and he's pretty fast. I haven't found many horses. It's only been him and one other guy, which is lower in the base. But this one's my favorite. If you guys think of a good name that isn't, totally repulsive, go ahead and leave it in the comments and say, this is an awesome horse name, please consider. Because really, I've been considering either naming him after a part of reality, or maybe one of the horsemen of the apocalypse. For him, I was thinking pestilence, maybe? Probably not war. It seems a little too simple for just being a war horse. Anyways, we got this fancy horsely, so fancy, and we got this fancy horse feed, which I will never use because, let's face it, as nice as this horse is, we're feeding him the cheap stuff. Got some food racked up there. I like how this wall came out. It has a bit of a design to it. I was trying to make it so that there is an entire trough of water here with these trap hooks. But the problem is, every time I would get off of this horse, it would send me into the trap hook and I would just get doused with water. Which, while hilarious, was very inconvenient having it happen over and over again. Let's see. I have this little garden here. I was thinking of making a sand garden, but I don't know, I just kind of like how this turned out. And never felt the need to change it afterwards. Let's see. Eat some carrots. What's up, Doc? There is a place to go outside. Wow, it's already nighttime again. I do love how the sunset looks. As you can see, there's a giant tower off in the distance. But yeah, the sunset looks really good from this base. I did happen to block off the waterfall here because there's a dock down there, and I didn't want it to get flooded constantly. But we're gonna end up working this along. Hopefully make it around the side, put a nice spiffy bridge there or something. There's a lot of land here to work with. I've tried lighting up most of it just so I could get Endermen to stop spawning everywhere. Because I've noticed when I was playing for long periods of time and I'd go to a place that was relatively dark, that there would just be like a massacre of the blocks there. It's like a nuclear blast went off just from all the Endermen screwing around. Anyways, I have this waterfall going down here. I have it blown out a little bit as if it's a real waterfall, since water over time would erode the stone. Tried making it a little fancy-like, mixing up some gravel. It's quaint. It's not quite done yet, but I like how it is so far. Again, a lot of this stuff's going to be a work in progress. And I'm not exactly set in stone on a lot of this stuff. Like this floor, for example. It looks really plain compared to everything else. But I do like how this place sticks out a little bit. The only problem I don't like about mountains is, if you can hear it now, there's a zombie somewhere off in the darkness on one of the lips. Which I can't get to, but it always freaks me out, because I don't know if they spawn in my base or not. Because there are a few zones in my base where they could potentially get to, and I've been ambushed by several creepers on the way down. And it's kind of scary when you have lots of, resources used up here. And it's a long fall down. By the way, if you can't tell by my HP not regenning, we have natural HP regen off. So it's very hard to do this while worrying about fall damage, because I fall a lot. Like I said, I've died 5 times from fall damage. One of them that was encouraged by a skeleton. Okay, for example, let's see if I can get down here without accidentally hitting the lip, because I've done that a few times. That's another one of my deaths. Also, for warning, anyone who's prone to vertigo or doesn't want to see what's about to happen, look away for a second, because this could give you a headache. Oh my god! And we're good. We're fine. Okay, you can look now. I just have a little water pool set down here. I forgot that they actually changed water so that you only need 1 deep. But, you know, I figure it's like going through a warp portal or something. This is the main lobby I've been working on. It took forever to carve this out of stone because it was basically solid stone here. I have this corner done. I like how the contrast between the pumpkins, the wheat, and the rose bush got some vines growing down. I'm still not sure what to do with these corners here, so far I just have them kind of carved out a little bit to try and match. And I did have an idea for this, but I don't have nearly enough glowstone to fix it out. But I like how it's just kind of grass being taken over in the stone jungle around here. It's also a good way to spread the grass towards the other pads since I don't have silk touch yet. But I have most of these pretty symmetrical. There's an actual stable over here where I'm keeping cows and my other horse. And it's actually made of stairs in case the horse tries to clipping through or get stuck, because that's happened to me a few times. It's a little worrisome sometimes, you know, because we don't actually have any horses to replace these yet. I found 1 plains and only had 2 horses on them. And they were off in the distance. They're not even on the map that I showed you earlier. This is the grave of a chicken who occasionally poops eggs at me. He's still there. Every time I try and bury him, eggs come out through there. I've got a few stacks from it just because of that. I don't have the heart to kill him, though. Let's see. It's still nighttime. I have a makeshift bed down here that we can use real quick. Because as much as I feel like I told... I just remembered. I'm not wearing armor, and we're on hard mode. That would hurt. Seriously, you can get like 3 shot by an Enderman. Let's see, zombies, I think it's 4 or 5. Skeletons are ridiculously scary when you're up close and personal. As you can hear the chicken. I do have some mine shafts built down there. It's nothing finite yet. I'm still building down the spiral. Probably will try and get it to bedrock eventually. I'm not quite sure how I want it to look yet, though. I do like how these pillars that I have in each of the corners, they kind of look massive, as if they can hold the entire structure up. They're actually just the double slabs behind trapdoors with spruce wood, I believe, as, you know, little supports holding it up. Then I got lots of arches, because, come on, arches are very structurally sound. And then, I really like this door. The only problem is I'll get like a baby zombie just hiding here occasionally, and it'll bum rush me. Or the fact that, no, bad internet. Don't like your kind around here. But yeah, it's a really fast door. Got it from Etho. Really like some of the redstone that people come up with. Especially monostable circuits. I've been having a lot of fun with those recently. Anyways, this is the entrance. I think I'm going to try and connect that waterfall to the one up there once I get it spiraled down enough. And then it'll just be split by this entrance here and go into this. Which I think will look pretty nice. It's a little thin up top right now, but again, temporary. It will be better. Much better later on. Anyways, this is the dock I'm working on. I like how it's not just a plain wood. Because, let's face it, I had that at first when I was building it just to get the shape. It was really boring. But these actually go way down. It's pretty deep over here. I have to be careful not to drown occasionally. I did try putting a boat dispenser, but I kept getting caught in the block because it didn't send the boat far enough, so I'm going to have to rework that too. But we're gonna have some, ooh, arrow. Some nice way to make a fancy boat dispenser later on. You know, something to just make it so it's functional, but still looks nice. That's what I like doing in this the most, just making it so stuff altogether just works. Because functionality is really important, especially when you have a game like Minecraft, where pretty much every resource can be farmable. And, well, the entire game is manipulating the landscape to your advantage. Before, you know, pretty much done showing my base, at least what I have for now, let's move on to, the spawn village that we were working on. Not a lot of progress has been made here yet, because, most of us have either moved out or aren't currently playing at the moment. Let's see, we got a little lighthouse area. This is our intro farm, which I really, really need to tear down. Because, first of all, we don't need it. Secondly, this was before buckets, so it's just kind of built in the middle of the ocean. But, yeah, it's a little gaudy. I mean, it's totally useful, but seriously, it's so gaudy. Then we have massive amounts of creatures that need to be slain. And while we're here, thank you for your sacrifice. Have a nice day. At least those of you who are still alive. Ha 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 ha. And wow, really? Only 4 leather? Wait, 5. And okay, I feel a lot less bad about murdering all of them now. Really low on leather, by the way. Also, the fact that I've been eating carrots for half of this game, I keep going for some steak. Let's see. One of our teammates has gone and built a stairway up into that mountain. They call dibs on that. Here's a wall I built, just a basic repeating pattern that goes around the spawn area. Let's see, got cobblestone walls up there every now and then. Make it look really structured and organized. You know, castle-esque. We'll go in. I haven't actually, you know, made proper doors or anything to get into this place, so we just have this cobblestone sissy wall. Let's see, we've got our nether portal. We've been able to get to the nether fortress, which I felt like such a pro. I went through the entire thing at half a heart and lived. The only problem is my friend who was with me at the time got bum rushed by wither skeletons, exploded, and all the stuff fell off of the nether fortress, which was the first diamond pickaxe we had, which I just enchanted with 30 levels, which is a shame because I think it was a fortune efficiency or something like that. By the way, he doesn't know this, but I happened to rename some of his stuff while he wasn't looking. Like, here's the Monolith of Shame map. That's where we are right now. Let's go visit the Monolith of Shame while we're at it. It's, yeah, this giant unfinished wooden tower. By the way, go ahead and feel free to tell me what you guys think of it. I can't say anything on it until then, because we made a discussion that we'd leave it up to you guys to tell us what you think. Because, yeah, it's a giant wooden structure. Then here's the Shame Relocator. Again, I renamed it when he wasn't looking. It's what he used to hollow out this entire area. Don't worry, we're just having fun. I think it's all made of dark oak, which is why all this stuff's around, but it hasn't been farmed in a while. If I haven't mentioned, I've been on this server for approximately on and off for a month now. You know, not a lot of free time, but when I do, this is one of the things I like to do. Also, there's a chicken stuck in here. I had a makeshift egg farm, which had a bunch of chickens that we've since slaughtered after it filled up this freaking double chest. Except this one chicken decided that he'll just hide in the chest and never be able to... Look, can't actually hit him. He's completely safe in his chest of doom. And like heck, I want to actually break this chest, because that will just flood eggs everywhere. By the way, this is a really, really long staircase down to bedrock. Just kind of haphazardly, randomly placed. No accounting involved, I assure you. Then there's... First time I made that fancy roof, was testing it out here. We got a simple, auto fish farm that we never quite finished, since we could never actually get enough string to do so. Seriously, one of the three things that we are desperately missing out on: diamonds, string, definitely string, and surprisingly gold. That's only because with hardcore mode, we need to heal a lot. Seriously, every time we fall at half damage, it's just like so brutal. Which is another reason I don't run down these stairs. My friends died at least twice just trying to run down, just from the damage he took from it. Let's see, basic enchanting, storage. Then here's a chicken that I leashed up inside. He just kind of, wandered in here. I threw an egg, and I figure it's like having a canary in a mine shaft. It's good for business. Let's see. This is the way out. Always afraid that more chickens will spawn. If I keep doing that, the world will just be taken over by Baka Baka. Also, let me see if I can do this. I haven't actually done this since I changed back to this texture pack. But, if you can hear it, there's actually the nether portal on the other side. And there we go. It's actually a secret pathway that I built. There is a way to get through it from there, but I hate doing it because it makes me so nauseous. There's also a secret one here where I hid prize horses for, the people living here. Since, the only horses we had were those two in the plains. I mean, luckily it was enough so we can breed them. Also, I'm not going to try and jump on you. Last time I did that, I took like half my health just from riding you in ceiling. For evil horses. But yeah, they're locked in this room. They're free to anyone who can find them, though I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who knows about this. Hopefully none of them watch my videos. It might be a little awkward. But yeah, it's pretty simple. It's just a lever on the other side of some stairs, which did the whole half trick to make it so you can click through them. It's always a pain in the butt though, trying to find out where the switch is. Which is why that's the only time I've done it, or only time I will do it, because that is a pain in the butt to do. It's not something you want to be like, oh yeah, I put my spawn behind that door. Now the only way to get out is going to be to fight it again. 20 minutes later, all your stuff's already despawned. It's not a fun time to have. Then we got, let's see, watermelons and stuff that we got from a mine shaft, over in the swamp area. I'll show you guys that some other time. Made a really, really crummy skeleton spawner there, but I actually have it set up so it automatically will harvest watermelons, which, considering we don't use it that often. I mean, really, the way potions work, you get a lot of bang for your buck. But yeah, we actually do have quite a bit of resources, but this is all community stuff. I always feel really bad from taking from here, so I'm trying to avoid it. Trying to. But yeah, it's all pretty simple. Again, this was our starting house. We saved the fancy stuff for much later. Because again, get functionality first, then pretty it up afterwards. Or plan ahead. Most people would probably do that. I'm not too good at that part, though. I just kind of wing it. Also, I don't like that guy. He's a jerk. And he's a jerk. And he's coming for me. I'm gonna get out of here. I left my boat back there, didn't I? Yeah. Well, I think this is a good enough time to end it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm glad I finally got a chance to show off what I've been working on for so long. And there's more zombies coming. Great. You know, it'd be fine if it wasn't for the fact that there's also skeletons by the dock every place I want to go. Because, again, I'm not prepared to fight them mano-a-mano. Let's see. I do have quite a few arrows, though, so let's try that. You know, first, you. Oh yeah, one story before I forget. I kept giving my friend a hard time about building that tower, and so the story of how I chose this place is he started building that, and so I decided to make my own town with blackjack and hookers, and so I, started building up there. Except I could see from, my little balcony there, I could see him building the tower from my base. And there's this just one perfect corner that I actually shot at him from and was shooting the side of the tower. But then my friend started shooting at him as well, and so we were just taking pock shot. Then the next day, I see he's building there. I take out my bow, fire one arrow, and manage to hit him. And I stopped doing it ever since, because I felt really bad after that. If I haven't mentioned it, also, every time you, team kill, or, kill in PvP, it has this little marker above your head that's your threat count. And, you don't want to get that up, because then you just look like a jerk. So, yeah, that was really close, because if he had actually fallen off something, and he was at low HP at the time to begin with, luckily it was, just a regular unenchanted bow. But yeah, ever since I hit him from that, I'll be honest, I felt awesome that I was able to make that shot the first try, but terrible, because I'm not actually here to try and ruin anyone's day. So, as I was saying, thank you for watching. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but I hope you guys had a good time. I'll leave the rest of the outro, and see you next time. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to support my channel by leaving a like, favorite, or subscribe. It really does help me out a lot, Tell me what you think down below in the comments, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook or Twitter. Check the links in the description. Anyways, this is Manifusion, signing out, folks. See you next time.